Good morning, I'm Philip Verstokken. I'm the captain today of this Thomas Cook Airlines Belgium flight Airbus 320 to Dubrovnik. My colleague today is First Officer Mr. Muyerson.
Good morning.
We are now presently in the crew room of Thomas Cook Belgium, where we prepare all the flights before departure. What do we have to do? We have to check, in fact, all the weather, NOTAMs, technical status of the aircraft, to make a final decision on the fuel which we're going to take towards Dubrovnik, because we aim, like every company, to take minimum fuel out of cost principles. But of course, if we find any decent reason, weather-wise, operational, technical, to take extra fuel, that's why we are here to decide on that. So you can join us on making that decision, and we're going to do it step by step.
Again, the static port, temperature sensor again. We'll take a look at it. That's the avionics door, bay door is closed. Continue, landing gear doors closed. Landing light, taxi light, runway turn-off lights. Both tires are okay. We still have pressure in the strut. Parking brake is set. This is important because we're going to watch the brake wear pin indicator.
We start first engine number 2 regarding hydraulics for brakes and steering. Ground for cockpit?
Yep.
Starting engine 2?
Engine 2 is clear.
So first thing is to power the FADEC. You see all the amber crosses disappear. Now we got indications. Bleed is being cut off. Now we got bleed air available from the APU, about 30 psi. And we start engine number 2. You see the sequence. Start valve is opening. N2, the car starts to rotate. Next step will be at about 60% of N2 ignition. We got ignition. And next step, 22%. Fuel spraying scheme starts to arrive, so now it gently starts to increase fuel flow. You see EGT rising, and also the low pressure part, the N1, is starting up. In the meantime, all pressure is building up, and very gently all quantity will decrease because now it's being distributed in the engine. 55% at latest, start valve is being closed, and 20, 40, 60, 30, stable engine.
Monflex 49 SRS auto thrust blue.
Checked. 100 knots.
Checked.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Next to my flying duties as a captain A320 for Thomas Cook Airlines, I also teach ground courses. Mainly, I'm a human factors specialist for Thomas Cook Airlines in Belgium. I teach CRM courses, crew resource management. What is crew resource management? Actually, it's a systematic method of optimizing human performance in flight and in the cockpit. Flying is one of the safest ways to travel, and how do we keep it as safe as possible is by improving our performance, by improving the human performance we have in the cockpit.
So hello again, still cruising at 350. My name is Rudy Pont, and apart from my duties as being a co-pilot or a senior first officer, I'm also the flight safety officer at Thomas Cook Airlines and deputy flight safety manager. That makes me responsible for the follow-up of overall safety issues during the weeks and during our operations. Flight data monitoring is actually, apart from the black box which is in the tail, which most of you know is orange, we also have a small black box which is just underneath our feet here in the cellar, and it's smaller as the real black box. It's not that well protected, but it registers far more than the digital flight data recorder. In our aircraft it picks up about 500 to 600 parameters a second. So as we're cruising along now, each second 500 parameters are recorded.
It's without doubt the most beautiful desk in the world though. We're going to discuss a little bit further regarding weather, which is relatively important for us pilots in our daily operations, because weather affects the envelope in which we operate, not only for departure and landing but also during cruise. Now the weather is very beautiful, but unfortunately it's not always like that. We have to encounter with all kinds of weather hazards like thunderstorms, convective weather, jet streams regarding turbulence, and problems getting to our destination with headwind. Lower level we also encounter problems like ice build up on the aircraft, wind shears, turbulence, so it's sort of variable. As we saw during the flight preparation this morning, that's one of the reasons why we not only study the weather at our departure and destination in detail, like local winds, clouds, fog, things like that, precipitation, but we also study the weather charts, which gives us a wider picture, a wider view regarding what's happening in fact for us, for our Thomas Cook Belgium operations over continental Europe.
300.
100 above, check.
200.
Minimum, continue.
200.
Speed rating.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Diesel.